Welcome to the boardroom, everyone. I am stepping in today as your managing director, your venture capital pitch doctor, and your chief strategist for what we are going to call the Silicon Valley Exam Pitch Competition. Today, we are zooming in on Cambridge AS and A-level math, specifically Syllabus 9709. We're going to treat your exam marks like high-value blue-chip assets, and we are heavily focusing on a foundational topic that literally makes or breaks your initial valuation, quadratics, and the specific architecture of completing the square. I am absolutely pumped to guide you through this today because once you understand how the Cambridge Valuation Board, and by that I mean the official examiners, actually assesses your pitch, your entire exam prep strategy is going to completely transform. We are tracking a live grade valuation meter today, mapping your baseline skills all the way up to that top-tier $1 million A-star marking band. So get comfortable, get focused, and let's get right into it.
So, I have a fundamental question for you. Why do so many incredibly smart students lose easy marks on quadratics? I mean, think about it. It's a foundational topic, right? You probably learned the basic algebra for this years ago. Yet, when we look at the official principal examiner reports, they show candidates dropping straightforward marks year after year after year. It creates this massive immediate knowledge gap on the paper. To understand why this happens, I want you to picture two types of students. Let's call them our startup founders. First, we have Alex. Alex is a highly technical developer. Alex overloads the exam paper with raw code, raw mathematical facts, and disjointed numbers, but completely lacks a clear monetization strategy, meaning there's no evaluative structure to the answer. Then, on the other side of the room, we have Sam. Sam is our charismatic marketer. Sam delivers these highly persuasive, narrative-heavy answers, writing paragraphs of explanation, but has absolutely zero metric-backed assets. Sam completely misses the mathematical command word constraints. Both Alex and Sam are going to fail their pitch today, and their valuation is going to plummet. The issue isn't that they don't know the math, it's that they don't know how their product, their written answer on the exam paper, is actually being evaluated by the board. They don't understand the marking scheme's underlying algorithm.
And that brings us directly to this absolute truth from the examiner reports. Quote, most students lose easy marks on quadratics, specifically completing the square. But after this, you won't be one of them. End quote. I want to highlight this simulated examiner insight because it is the core thesis of our entire session today. Our goal is to completely shift your mindset. We are moving away from the old-school idea of just doing math to strategically engineering top-band responses. We are building a bulletproof presentation deck for the examiner. We are going to look at the exact assessment objectives, the market risks, and show you how to satisfy every single demand the examiner throws at you. You are the CEO of your exam performance, and today we are going to secure your funding. Okay, let's quickly look at our flight plan for this session. We are decoding the syllabus in 5 distinct stages. Number 1, the method mark strategy. Number 2, core theoretical architecture. Number 3, the standardized procedural sequence. Number 4, critical examiner alerts. And finally, number 5, evaluative exam mastery. This is exactly how we will decode the syllabus to secure your maximum valuation. Let's move.
Stage 1, the method mark strategy.
So, let's talk about your initial pitch, your MVP, your minimum viable product. When you open that Cambridge paper, consider the multi-part question as your market opportunity brief. What exactly are the investors, the examiners, looking for? Well, academic benchmarks for this topic require logical, structured reasoning. The assessment framework explicitly prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth. Think back to our founder, Alex. Alex looks at a completing the square question, does all the heavy mathematical lifting in their head, and just writes down the final coordinates of the vertex. Boom, done, right? Wrong. Immediate valuation crash. Why? Because the method mark strategy dictates that the true asset value lies in the procedural process, not just the final numerical answer. Examiners award points for the clear, logical steps you take, proving your analytical depth. They want to see the architecture. If you jump straight to the finish line, you are literally leaving thousands of dollars, or in this case, crucial method marks, on the table. You have to prove the concept before you sell the product. You need to show the exact mathematical machinery running under the hood. If the question is worth 4 marks, the final answer is only worth 1. Those other 3 marks, those are your process assets. You absolutely have to show every single logical transformation.
Which brings us to stage 2, core theoretical architecture. Now, moving into the foundational theory of completing the square, I have to give you a massive warning. Applying these concepts to unfamiliar contexts is exactly where the vast majority of candidates struggle. This is our market risk chart right here.
To handle those curveballs, you need to know exactly how you're being tested. Cambridge examiners target 3 distinct cognitive domains, also known as assessment objectives or AOs. Number 1, knowledge and understanding. That's your AO1. Do you know the basic algebraic formula for completing the square? Number 2, application or AO2. Can you apply that formula to a set of messy, real-world data provided in the prompt? And number 3, analysis, AO3. This is the top tier. Can you analyze the relationships and explain what the vertex form actually means for the given model? It's like a scaling business model. You have to climb all 3 rungs to hit top marks. If you just give the board descriptive data, you're stuck at a low valuation. You need to scale up to that elite analytical level to maximize your score.
And the absolute key to scaling up is what we call cross-topic connection. The principal examiner reports explicitly state that integrating precise definitions and causal relationships with other syllabus areas is what drives significantly higher grade valuations. Imagine we are back in the tech war room with Alex and Sam. The funding clock is ticking down fast. They are trying to merge their assets to pitch an unassailable model response. Alex wants to focus entirely on deep, isolated textbook definition dumps. Sam is fighting to build a direct analytical thesis string to lock in the top band marks before the clock expires. Who was right? Well, they both need to compromise and re-architect their pitch. The theoretical architecture of completing the square rarely exists in a vacuum. It connects to functions, it connects to finding the range and domain, it connects to optimization problems, and even graphing transformations. You have to show the examiner the big picture. When you explicitly reference how completing the square reveals the minimum or maximum value of a function in a completely different context, you are showing elite-level market awareness. You're proving you understand the entire ecosystem, not just one isolated piece of code.
Let's transition to stage 3, the standardized procedural sequence.
Transitioning from theory to execution, you need a framework. Think of this 5-step standardized sequence as your visual story method. It is an exact step-by-step procedural framework required to flawlessly execute a completing the square question without dropping any logical links. Step 1. Identify key elements. What is the coefficient of x squared? Is it 1 or do we need to factor something out first? Step 2. Apply relevant principles. Have the b coefficient, square it, add it, and subtract it. That's your core algorithm. Step 3. Execute the analysis. Combine your perfect square trinomial and simplify your constants clearly. Step 4. Verify your results. Expand it back out mentally. Does it match the original market brief? If not, you have a bug in your code. Step 5. Present in the appropriate format. Whether they ask for a times x plus p squared plus q or something else, give it to them exactly as requested. Map out this exact 5-step sequence every single time. It encodes complex quadratic data into a highly readable format that examiners absolutely love.
And listen, that final step, presentation, involves strict presentation conventions. We are talking proper headings, correct terminology, appropriate formats, and clear annotation. But wait, valuation pause. Freeze the presentation deck. Look right here at the camera. Before we unlock the rest of this top-band paragraph architecture to scale your final grades, we need to optimize your educational asset flow. Take just a second right now to subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly high-yield strategy drops. Whether you are hacking exams at IGCSE, O-levels, or AS and A levels, hit that bell. Okay, system initialized. Let's get back to the pitch. We just hit an unexpected system bug mid-paragraph. Our founders Alex and Sam dropped their evidence links. Their formatting is a mess and it is threatening a total valuation crash. I have to step in. Presentation is not optional. Failing to use strict conventions is a major compliance liability. If your working is messy, if you don't use the implies arrow correctly, or if you use the wrong notation, the examiner simply cannot award you the process marks we just talked about. You must fix the logic flow instantly using clear annotated steps.
This brings us right into stage 4, critical examiner alerts.
3. I want you to burn that number into your memory right now, because there are exactly 3 critical mistakes that consistently, year after year, destroy student mark valuations in the specific topic of quadratics. We see the exact same errors in the data every single exam cycle. So I am handing control over to you for a live compliance audit challenge right now. Get ready to test your own market awareness.
Welcome to the Rapid Market Scan. Look at the screen. We have a 60-second visual countdown running in the background. Here are the top 3 mistakes sourced directly from Cambridge Principal Examiner reports. Number 1, confusing cause and effect. Number 2, forgetting format and presentation checks. And number 3, generic answers lacking context. Now for challenge 2, identify the compliance liability. Imagine I show you a flawed medium-tier sample student response. The student correctly completes the square but then states the minimum value is the x-coordinate instead of the y-coordinate. Boom! Right there. The director's pointer highlights the discrepancy. That is mistake number 1. Confusing cause and effect. They found the where, but confused it with the what. Then they forget to write the final equation in the exact format requested in Part A of the question. That's mistake number 2, bleeding technical marks. These are massive, unforced errors. It's like having $1 million software product but forgetting to put a buy button on the website. But it's actually that third mistake that truly separates average students from the elite. Let's look closer at that.
There is a massive, massive difference between generic textbook responses and context-specific applications. This is the classic trap. Remember our tech founder, Alex? Alex loves dumping generic memorized definitions onto the page. The vertex is -p, q. Okay, great. But what does that actually mean? The top band requirement is that you must always link every single point to the given scenario. If the quadratic equation models the trajectory of a launched projectile, your analysis of the vertex must be explained in terms of maximum height and horizontal distance. You can't just say x is 5 and y is 20. You have to say the projectile reaches a maximum height of 20 meters at a horizontal distance of 5 meters. If you don't contextualize the math, the examiner assumes you are just a calculator. You have to be the analyst. You have to synthesize the data to fit the market brief perfectly.
Which brings us to our final stage. Stage 5. Evaluative Exam Mastery. Let's look at this matrix. This is how you visually prove to the valuation board that you deserve the maximum payout. Scaling your response relies on 3 distinct levels. At the bottom, we have the descriptive level. This is where you just identify basic data and generic steps. You're barely getting seed funding here. Above that, we step into the analytical level. This is where you execute clear working and perfect notation. This is good. It's solid. But the top tier, the A-star band, that is the evaluative level. This requires you to question assumptions, compare approaches, and justify your decisions. When Alex and Sam finally merge their assets, Alex's flawless technical math and Sam's clear contextual narrative, they create a perfectly balanced, high-scoring block of text. They use the Peel structure: point, evidence, evaluation, link. They make a mathematical point, provide the quadratic working as evidence, evaluate what that vertex means, and link it back to the real-world scenario. Higher-order assessment in quadratics demands exactly this level of evaluation.
Look at the screen. The grade valuation meter is peaking at the maximum $1 million A-star score for our founders, because this leads us directly to the ultimate goal: evaluating evidence quality. Top-scoring candidates don't just solve the equation and pack up their bags. They demonstrate evaluative thinking. They identify limitations of the quadratic model. Maybe the model assumes no air resistance for that projectile. They note assumptions made in the data. They compare approaches and justify their decisions with rock-solid mathematical evidence. To distill this entire session into 3 universal rules for your Series A funding. Number 1, the 3-step question scan. Decode the command words before you ever start writing. Number 2, the scale budget allocation. Manage your timing strictly based on the marks available. And number 3, the final quality review checklist. Does your math match the context? This evaluative step is the absolute ultimate goal, and it's exactly how you dominate the 9079 syllabus.
So, I leave you with this final, high-stakes question. Which part of your exam strategy will you upgrade first to conquer Cambridge Math 9709? Will you master the 5-step procedural sequence? Will you tighten up your presentation to avoid those costly compliance liabilities? Or will you focus on pushing your analytical answers to the pure evaluative level? Apply this examiner blueprint to your next practice paper. Remember to always link your math to the context and go secure those top marks. Before you go, you need to hit that subscribe button for Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams. Click the notification bell so you are first in line for our weekly grade masterclasses, and drop a comment down below right now sharing exactly which Cambridge subject and level, IGCSE, O-Level, AS, or A-Level, you are preparing to conquer next. See you in the next one.